Year 2s. I'm going to read you a story today, and there's some questions to answer afterwards once you've listened to my story. And it's called A Monster Surprise. Are you ready? Are you sitting comfortably? Then I shall begin. Beneath the leafy rooftop of the woods in Little Nook was a very hungry rabbit who was searching by the brook. "My flowers have been stolen, almost every single bunch." Rabbit panicked, feeling sure that there was not enough for lunch. He saw a clump of fir between some sticks upon the ground, and he thought that he might know just where the culprit might be found. So there's a picture of the hungry rabbit, and there's a picture of him getting a little bit of fur and thinking, who could that culprit be? So Rabbit marched to Squirrel's house to find his precious food, and to tell his friend that taking it was really rather rude. "Excuse me," shouted Rabbit, now with Squirrel in his sight. "I was really looking forward to my marigold delight. I know you took my flowers. Please return them right away." But it wasn't only Rabbit who was missing food that day. "My acorns have been stolen," Squirrel shouted with a cry, "and the villain left a bite mark in my tree as they went by." There's a picture of Rabbit and Squirrel. Can you see that there's like a bit of a chunk out of his tree taken? The friends knew just one creature who would nibble on the tree, and they thought that they might know just where the culprit might be. So on they marched to Beaver's house to find their precious food and to tell their friends that taking it was really rather rude. "Excuse me," shouted Squirrel, now with Beaver up ahead. "I was really looking forward to my toast with acorn spread. I know you took my acorns. Would you kindly give them back?" But it wasn't only Squirrel who was cross about her snack. So now you've got Rabbit and Squirrel and Beaver. Did you guess it was Beaver? They like nibbling trees. "My branches have been stolen," snuffled Beaver, full of grief, "and I'm sure I saw a pointy tusk belonging to the thief." Wonder if you can think who that is. The friends knew just one creature with a tusk of any sort, and they thought that they might know just where the culprit might be caught. So on they marched to Boar's house, off to find their precious food, and to tell their friends that taking it was really rather rude. So there's a picture of the boar. Can you see his big tusks there? "Excuse me," shouted Beaver, now that Boar was in her view. "I was really looking forward to my branch and bramble stew. I know you took my branches, and I'd like them back unchewed." But it wasn't only Beaver who was longing for her food. "My berries have been stolen," snorted Boar, wide-eyed with shock. "And the robber left some footprints leading right across that rock." "I've never seen a creature who has footprints of that kind, so I think that we should follow them to see what we can find." The friends climbed up the rock and clambered down the other side, as they trekked to find their food with just the footprints as their guide. They took a narrow path that formed a line between the trees, and then crawled through thorny bushes that left scratches on their knees. They climbed some jagged rocks until their feet could take no more. Then they came across a cave that had a boulder for a door. The boulder started moving, and the creatures stood in fright, as a silhouette inside began to shuffle into sight. So this is the cave that they went in, and this is them going, moving the boulders. "A monster!" Rabbit shouted as the friends all turned to flee. In the panic, Rabbit tripped, colliding head first with a tree. The monster's hand loomed down. As it picked him up, he shook. There was nothing quite so scary in the whole of Little Nook. "Oh, please say you won't eat me," Rabbit begged with fearful eyes. "I would never eat a rabbit," laughed the monster with surprise. "Well, thank you," answered Rabbit as he brushed the dirt away, and the friends were all relieved to see that Rabbit was okay. The monster mumbled shyly as it bent down on one knee, "I was hoping that you would all like to join me for some tea." There's a picture of him there, and he's inviting all his new friends in for tea. The monster clicked its fingers, and the glowworms shined their lights on the most amazing party full of wonderful delights. "Our missing foods," said Rabbit. Now the monster's plan was clear, and the creatures all said sorry for reacting with such fear. "Please join me," said the monster as it handed for the seats. "You can help yourself to cups of tea and lots of yummy treats." When Rabbit's little tummy brimmed with marigold delight, and when all the toast had gone, with no more acorns spread in sight, when Boar was full of berries and the stew was at an end, they all thanked the gentle monster, who was now their brand new friend. I didn't guess that it was going to be a monster at the end, although the title did say a monster surprise. Now I'm going to ask you some questions about what you've just listened to. You may want to rewind the video so that you can find the answers. I'm also going to put all these links on our remote learning package because there's more questions on there that you might want to do at home if you wanted to print them out. But these are some questions for now. So question number 1. Where do the characters live? A, on a farm, B, in a zoo, or C, in the woods? Okay. Number 2. Who is the first animal we meet in the story? A beaver, B, a rabbit, or C, a boar? Number 3, what do all the animals notice is missing? A, their food, B, their homes, or C, their friends? Number 4, who had been taking their things? A, a mouse, B, a man, or C, a monster? And number 5, how did everyone feel at the end of the story? A, sad, B, happy, or C, excuse me, angry? So you can answer those questions on a piece of paper or just saying it out loud. And if you want to do any further questions, there will be a link with this on our learning package. So that's our first story for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. There'll be more next week. Bye for now.